Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everybody. She has this amazing power to help us understand this thing called spirituality. Maybe you want to call it metaphysics. But she does it in such a way that it's clear, concise, to the point, and usable. And it's all part of a program that she has designed. It's called The Inner Self. I've learned so much from her. Today, we're going to learn about energy. It's everything. It's around us. We're all energy. This pen has energy, different type of energy than a human. How can we use it to our best advantage? How can we realize what it's doing around us? Digging deep into it today. She is MaryElizabeth. She is our professional of the year. We call her Emmy, and she's back with us. How are you doing today?
I am just fabulous. Excited to be here. Feeling the energy. It's a great vibe.
Your energy today is exceptionally high vibration. I'm not just saying that. I am feeling it. Is a better week for you? What's going on?
It's oddly enough for our ME here, what we were going to answer for her because she went through a process this weekend of silence. And in the silence, she was able to connect within. And when you allow yourself to truly connect to the energy that is you, the energy of your truth, the divine source of you, all else can fall away. All else moves to a space of understanding that it is just a momentary energy. And in your true self, you are guided, you are protected, and you are in the favor of the universe. So when you allow that to be, your internal energy will automatically shift to a higher vibration, you see. And if that happens, you can positively affect not just your life, but the life of others around you.
That being said, my weekend was completely the opposite and was missing the silence. And it was intentional, but my inner being was saying, you need to tap the brakes. But wait, I could do this and I could do that and I could do this. I'm going to say I kind of made a mistake over the weekend by not doing it. Because I came home yesterday, Monday, and was just like, I feel drained. I was in bed like 8:30. And just doing nothing. TV was on. I hardly even watch it, keep the sound up, playing on my phone a little bit, thinking, reflecting. I'm going to do that again tonight. Call me boring. But no, because I have a busy week ahead. And so I need to, recharge and focus on that. But that's what was missing from my weekend. Even if it was carving at 2 hours of just silence, reflection, all of that. I don't think we realize what it does for us.
Well, we understand that life gets in the way, and we understand that sometimes it's more fun to play, and sometimes you have responsibilities to others too that you feel you must make a priority. But when you make another your priority, you forget about you.
Yes.
And in that space, when you are pushing through, what we highly recommend you do, because yes, there are times you cannot stop, but we have said it before and we'll say it again. You need to give yourself permission to stop and breathe. Just take a moment. 10 seconds will recenter your energy. You just take a deep breath and slowly let it out. Others will look at you, but who cares? Do you understand what we mean? Because all you're thinking about is that breath. And in doing that, you connect to the divine source that is you. And when you allow that through, the toll of the day would not have been as extreme. The energy of the weekend would not have depleted you to that extent if you had just taken a moment every few hours to just stop and breathe.
I never saw it in that way. Yes, taking a breath. It just energizes you. It gives you oxygen, obviously. But I never thought of it in that when you take that intentional deep breath, hold it, and slowly let it out, you're not focusing on anything else because you have to be focusing on the breath. So that's half of it. I never thought of it that way.
Exactly. And in the breath, you see, God exists within you, but God exists within you in the moment. God exists in that breath. And if you think about it, breathing is what you do naturally. You never question, is there going to be enough air for me? You never question where that next breath will come through. You just assume and trust it. And that is all we're saying. Go into that space of trust and allow yourself to be in the breath, because in that breath, you are in that moment completely, because as you said, you have to pay attention to the breath. You're not reflecting. You're not thinking about what's next. You're literally thinking about, in this moment, I'm okay. In this moment, I am divine. And that's what ME does when she breathes. She has that thought. In this moment, I am in my divine. Because that is where you all are, you see. You are living in that space of your creator energy. So when you center it, it takes the lead.
How do you know that this thing we talk about called energy is real? And when did you first discover this?
Well, we have known it all along, but we're going to let Emmy discuss the conversation here. If you think about it, all your life you are affected by the presence of others. And when you walk in a room and it suddenly feels overwhelming, or you feel like you want to turn around and walk away, or you walk in and it's like, oh, it feels good in here. The idea of it being energy, you don't think of it that way. But it's simply the vibrational frequency of all that is in the room. And as you said, it includes the energy in the pen. It includes the energy of the people there. Same thing when you walk outside. It's the energy that you are feeling. When I became aware of energy, it was part of a conversation in, middle school. Somebody had said something about, well, it's just the energy. Have I always been aware of how others affect me and how energy affects me? Absolutely. I just didn't have an understanding that's what it was, that it was simply energy. But if you think about it, we're all energy. And
yes,
everything is energy. And if we could see ourselves as we truly are, which is a pure vibration, not a solid mass, the concept would be much easier, you see. And there were times in my life when I'd look at a person and they would literally be vibrating. They wouldn't be solid. And I think, well, that's odd. Is there something wrong with my eyes? Is there something? And then I'd go, oh, that's just where they are and where they are relating from. Have you ever met someone who sits and they're constantly shaking their legs?
yes.
Okay. That person is highly connected in their energy field to the energy of all dimensions, you see. They may not be aware of that.
They're not aware of it. They're not aware of it. Oh my gosh. And even everything we talk about, the one person I have in mind, and I'm close to them, they don't get this energy stuff. They won't even hear it. It's just not their thing. But the knee bouncing all the time. So you're saying, okay, so let's break this down even deeper. I thought people that do that have maybe anxiety, maybe nervous, I guess energy, because that, we've heard that term before. But you're saying that the person just has a lot of energy? What is it?
They are connecting to the energy that's around them in a way that most others do not. They are, whether they understand this or accept this or believe any of this woo-woo to be true, they are connecting on a higher frequency to all that's around them. Those who suffer from anxiety, as you mentioned that word there, again, they are tapping into the energies around them. And it becomes suddenly, what am I feeling? What is wrong here? Because that's an automatic trigger when your energy level increases. Many are taught to go into that space of worry instead of, oh, this is exciting. There's something new here. There's something here for me to see. There's something here for me to learn.
Wow.
The one who does not believe, we promise you, Emmys has a friend who constantly is in motion, constantly has a hard time stopping and just being. And when they are just being, they are still moving in frequency. But she has come to see that she has the ability to break dimensional energy and open vortex too. And it's funny, if you watch anybody who walks around her, they'll walk by her and they'll stumble. And then they'll look down like, what did we trip on? Nothing. She creates an energy field that others feel.
Wow. I've had so many epiphanies in the last couple of seconds because now I see people who have anxiety in a different way. No judgment whatsoever. But I see if somebody is anxious, they may have challenges processing the energy around them. Does that sound reasonable?
They are hyper attuned to the energy around them. And then also don't know how to process. Don't realize that it's not them they're feeling. They don't realize that, it's not something wrong in them. It's just the energy around them coming into their energy field and amping to a point that most do not feel. But anxiety is, if you think about it, anybody who is anxious, they tend to be worried.
Sure.
So they have to look at it differently, as in, instead, as we said, instead of something to worry about, you have to literally change your mind. Oh, something exciting is happening here. You understand? And with anxiety, there's a simple trick to offset the energy. And all they need do, when anybody needs to do when they start to feel anxious, one, take a breath, then look up, look down, look back up, and look down. It creates, if you think about that, what we just did, created an X. It X out the energy field.
Wow. You beat me to it because I was going to ask you some tips, exercises to work with energy. So there's one for somebody who has anxiety or in an anxious moment. Mm-hmm. We talked about intentional breathing. Are there other things that we can do to use energy to our best advantage? Or maybe even just realize that it's real, it's happening, it's around us?
There's plenty of things you can do. You've heard of tapping, have you not?
Sure.
Okay, when you're in a space of, like Emmy, because she sees so many different dimensional energies, sometimes her eyes go wonky. So she literally taps the energy to bring the focus here. And it brings it to a pinpoint of attention versus multiple layers of attention. Does that make sense to say?
Absolutely. Yeah. And we focused on anxiety here. Doesn't have to be, any tips about that. By the way, I just heard yesterday from somebody about tapping that this spot here is a very powerful meridian. Mm-hmm. And if you want to refocus, because to do true tapping, there's all different spots around your face and such, or even the eye.
Yeah, you don't need to. It depends on where you're trying to focus. The tapping meridians, the more you open, the more you are open to receiving energy differently. But to focus the energy, Focus here because you see with your eyes. Focus here if you want to calm your mind. This point here is a pressure point in acupuncture too. You can just press to calm yourself if you need to. But one of the things you'll say, you say, what can you do with energy? We always say play. Life is about having fun. Play with your energy field. Rub your hands together. For those who do not believe that energy is a thing, rub your hands together and then pull them apart. And when you start moving, you'll start to feel the tingling in your hands. And as you do, we highly recommend you play with the energy coming through. And the more you play, the more you can expand. And if there's someone else in the room, just kind of focus on them as you move the energy and watch to see how they react. Because they may be reading a book and suddenly they look up. What is that? You are all aware of energy. We want to make one point here about energy. Everything holds energy. Everything holds energy. So if you are going through a bad point in your life and there is something that you've been holding on to for years, it holds the energy of that bad point of your life. So if you don't need it, purge it. Let it go. The one day Emmy walked into a friend's closet and she was a thrift store diva. She loved to shop at thrift stores. And Emmy walked into that closet and she was overwhelmed by at least 27 different dead souls that came through. Because the energy, most people, when they donate a clothing piece, do not rewash it, you see. They just take it from the closet, pack it up, and donate it. That energy is there.
Wow. Never thought of that. And it's funny because my friends and I have been on a thrift store kick recently where we're just, checking out different ones and working on different projects like a studio, need a light here, a lamp here, whatever it might be. Wow. So in that situation, if it's clothing, can you wash it and clear out the previous energy? And if it's an object, reasonable to sage or something else to cleanse the energy?
Saging works on an object. If you want to cleanse clothing, wash it. But what we'll say to you is really pay attention to the energy that adheres to you. Do you understand what we mean? Because it may look fabulous, but why does this room feel strange to me? And just stop and look and go, okay, where am I not feeling the energy? And actually, if you walk around your room with your hand extended, you'll see where you are getting a pushback. Or as Emmy will do, she'll go, oh, okay, it's time to get rid of that because it's a heavy space of energy. Does that make sense to say?
And yes. And what do you do? Let's say you are in a relationship that didn't go well and I'll just use this word, inherited or got, or, the furniture.
Mm-hmm.
As big pieces, they could be costly.
Mm-hmm.
Can you clear the negative energy, even just by saging or some other modality, technique?
You can sage, and what we highly recommend when you rearrange the room, rearrange the placement of the furniture. If the person connected to it had a favorite space to be, where their energy would concentrate, if it's a couch or a chair, sage the area, but move the placement. We highly recommend, we're huge fans of rearranging your rooms quarterly or at least every 6 months to shift the energy field within the house so nothing becomes stagnant. Sage, but you also can do once a week 3 clear candles in a triangular placement in the room. And you light them right, center, left. And when you blow them out, you do the opposite.
Wow. Learning a lot today. Really exciting.
It's a cleansing way to help realign the room.
Totally clear. And it was decades ago, somebody who was intuitive said to me, and this is before I really got the whole energy concept, but was just talking about, when you have boxes and clutter, you're blocking the flow of energy. And I didn't dispute it, but I didn't really fully get it. Mm-hmm. And now crystal clear of what's going on here and how energy, there needs to be a flow. There needs to be a flow of energy.
There needs to be a flow, and you should always let go. You should always let go. One of the things Emmy is known for is she got a lot of pushback about 15 years ago. She went through all of the pictures from her lifetime, which were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures. She now maybe has 50 left because she has those memories. What does she need the picture for? Because the picture held the energy of the time that it was taken. Do you understand?
I really do. And many experts say we're so fixated on picking up our phone and taking pictures. They say, don't do that. Commit it to your memory. Stop taking pictures. It's all good every once in a while, but it's to your point. And I believe that everything has energy. Even if you look at a picture and send energy to the person in the picture, mm-hmm. It is, I believe, somewhat connected to them in the real world and in the energetic world. You can send something just through a picture.
You can send something just through the thought in your mind.
Sure.
You don't need the picture.
Yeah. The picture is more of a connection, but yes, 100%.
You want to send someone energy, just think of them.
Yes.
Close your eyes, see their face, and send the energy of love and light. Send the healing energy that they need. Send the attaboy, way to go. Whatever it is that you want to give and impart on that human being. We're huge on letting go. You wouldn't know it right now if you were to look at Emmy's space. But every quarter she purges. Every quarter she has a purge. And there's a reason for that. Because when you get rid of the old, you open for new.
Yeah. Yep. It's the truth. And if you don't believe it, do it. See what shows up. See what happens. Fascinating talking with you today. We talk about energy, but we never dive deep into it. So I'm grateful that we did. Best way to find you, somebody wants to tap into your energy, so to speak. Emmy, how do we find you?
They can find me via my website at www.IamMaryElizabeth.me, or they can text me at 661-341-6667. And I'm available for individual consultations and coachings, as well as speaking engagements too.
Beautiful talking with you. Thank you for your energy today. I feel better. I was kind of depleted. I told you that. I feel much better and have a better handle on what's going on around us. And I appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you. And I thank you for your time, Steve. And I look forward to talking again next week.
Likewise. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.